Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Misha Houston. Thank you all so much for staying with us. We hope that this is right. We hope that this is right. If not, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. If we can't get the sound issues correct, I've restarted the stream and I've also put a brand new link in the gangbangers. Mackenzie says that we are doing better. So that's a very, very good sign, and we're just gonna jump off right from here. Yeah, we're talking about Jon. We're talking about Jon, and Sarah has already done the overview. I'll just do a quick one, as quick as I possibly can, to refresh everyone. And it's just Jon. He's Alistair Thorne is above everyone, and he's telling the recruits that we've chosen we're gonna go ahead and pass you on to the not the lower commander because we have new recruits coming in. It's a group of 8, and it's a very happy time at the wall for right now. It's a very, very happy time. The men who were chosen uh were very excited and very happy, and wondering what their new jobs were going to be. Jon, and Sam are in a different mindset. Samuel is afraid. He knows that he has not passed his training, and he's worried about what's going to happen next. And Jon, as his friend, is worried about him too. He's worried that Samuel, may get hurt by the new recruits. He protected him. Jon protected Sam once and stopped everyone from hurting him and abusing him, but he won't be there now to protect him. He won't be there. He's moving on, towards his duties uh, on the night's watch, and Samuel will be stuck there training. He'll still have to continue his training until he's ready to become a man of the night's watch. Jon is also considering leaving. He's also considering leaving because he has grown homesick and he wants to see the world. He wants to see the world and he wants to.
Misha, can I add one thing?
Yes.
He unlike so many people who are there, he went there by choice, so he can leave. He wasn't sentenced either like you get gelded or you go to the wall. Or Sam was like, I'm gonna kill you if you stay in our family. Like Jon thinks he came here voluntarily, he can leave voluntarily. No one else can really leave.
That's true. That's true. Most see the men of the Night's Watch are just mainly prisoners, people that have committed crimes, people that feel shut out in their families, ninth born sons and rapers and thieves and murderers and people that don't have much of a life, in their own life, so they come to the wall to start a new life. It used to be a very high place. Yes, Money G, unmute your microphone. Unmute. There you go.
Sorry. No, yeah, that he can just leave, and he was contemplating it, like Sarah said, that everybody else, like they're kind of, it's their prison sentence, but he can leave. Well, and same too, and that was something that did that occur to anybody else? Like, as I was like falling back in love with Jon, because I hate the popular boy, right? So this chapter really like brought it back to me, like, oh, he's a good guy. So
It's okay to like
Sam to get him back so he doesn't get
it's
killed.
okay to
Because he
like the
totally would have.
popular I was say it's okay to like the popular boys sometimes. If it's
but
Jon Snow, it's okay.
it is. It is. It totally is. That's my prejudice. I'll see his charge. But anyways, but part of me thought, what the hell? Why didn't he like when he was like riding off and he took the horse because he's like, oh, rah, 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 rah. Why didn't it occur to him when he rode back? Okay, yes. I mean, and I'm getting ahead of myself. But why didn't he think doesn't have to be there either? That's all. So I'll talk about like the rest of that later. But it did occur to me like, hey, big pal, big buddy of mine, why don't we go take off together? Wouldn't they accept Sam at Winterfell? Okay, maybe just for the night, Catelyn wouldn't accept him, but he wanted to see the world. Wouldn't Sam want to see the world? Wouldn't.
I guess
So,
for them,
anyways, just
it's the only place maybe where they can belong because nobody else wants them. Nobody else would maybe accept them, and here they have a chance to start new and maybe prove themselves. Obviously, Sam is failing miserably at everything, but thanks to Jon,
he
may have
starts to prove himself soon. I think when he has all that huntsman insight. Am I messing up reverb wise? But they find the white soon, and Sam can, like, I don't know. I never actually watched the show Bones, but apparently there's like a forensic person that comes in and can like spit out what's wrong with the situation. He, I think doesn't Mormont say, you might not be a total waste, or maybe that's just the show, but yeah, he proves himself soon, I guess is what I'm babbling about. In the spirit of jumping ahead, sorry, Moni, I'm gonna shut off now.
You're absolutely right, Sarah, and that is in the book as well. That Mormont tells Sam that there's need for men that can read and write at the wall as well.
I fully agree with that, and that was probably one of my favorite parts of the book, where Jon, beautifully and eloquently broke it down. He considered leaving, but then he decided to stay. And I think he stayed chiefly, to protect Samuel, his new friend. And Moni G, you're all right. He could have ran off with Sam, but he decided to stay and continue with his vow. And he's giving up a lot. He is giving up.
Yeah, he doesn't even have like the wildling babe princess and Winterfell in front of him. He just wants to straight go back there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, without any of that dangling in front of him, and he still turns it down 5 books later.
Yeah, that's
4
true.
books later.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
But he hadn't taken any vows yet. Neither had Sam.
No, they haven't. But he came there wanting to, but he could have backed out from his decision. That's what I'm saying. I know that they haven't, taken the vows just yet.
Yeah, but also nobody except for Tyrion told him how sucky it would be. Like, he had no idea. He thought it was going to be this big, noble cause. And really, it's just a place for prisoners who didn't want to get executed. He finds out, like noblemen don't go there except for if they want to save their head or their hand. Or
right. I mean, that's true.
He went there because his stepmother or his, wouldn't allow him to stay and be a bastard because his dad left. As far as he knows. So, but it's not this place for noble people. Like, so Sam's there because his dad was going to kill him, but it's not because he has to be there. It's because his dad said, well, get out of here or I'll kill you.
In a way, it's kind of a death sentence for anybody and everybody, right? Because Jon, like I said, he's not welcomed. He has nothing to take from Winterfell. He would just have to pick up maybe the clothes that he has on him and just leave.
Right. It would it would be an overnight. I don't even know if he could stay.
Yeah.
To be honest,
so this is the perfect place for him. I mean, the last chance to prove himself.
Unless he wants to see the world and get laid. I mean, this is a good place for him. He doesn't know he's going to be Lord Commander.
Get laid, and I don't think he has money, so he would have to find money.
No, he doesn't. No way. The peasants everybody screws. Come on. You know that. You wrote a book about it. Give me a break.
Well, let's just say I'm not a peasant.
Everybody likes to screw. Poor people, rich people, everybody. Homeless people. People with houses, dogs,
you gotta find fun in life, right? Life is difficult in Westeros, so they need to find something pleasant.
Anyways, I'm just saying the wall is a freaking death sentence or it might as well be. But it's cool. It's a noble cause. I don't know. I guess I feel the same about some stuff. I won't say. Zip it. Next. Okay. Sorry. Said Nike. Your turn. Somebody else.
I just also, wanted to add the point that, and I've said this before, and I just want to say it again. I loved how he talked to Master Aemon, and how he also, I also loved his interactions with Chet. And Chet also is another character that we're going to see later on, throughout the books. And Chet is also going to have his own chapter later on. And I just loved how he talked to them. Knowing how to talk to a person is a rare and fair feature. It's not something that everyone knows how to do. He's a great conciliator. I hope I'm saying that word right, but that's exactly what Jon is. He's a great leader. He knows how to talk to people. And as I said before, that's a very rare and fair feature that a lot of people don't have. A lot of people don't know how to explain themselves. Don't know how to.
Misha, to just chime in, to different groups of people. They threatened Rast or something with the direwolf. He knows that's how he's going to get submission from someone like him, is to have a direwolf be on your chest. And he knows to wake an old dude in the middle of the night and make a plea to him with the most privacy possible. He works. He can. I'm supporting what you're saying and saying that he knows how to talk to lots of different people.
Oh yes,
it's great to see.
Yes, he did handle. He handled also how his interactions with Sam. He handled Alistair Thorne, and managed to silence him for a time. He knew how to talk to Catelyn and how not to talk to Catelyn, and what to say to Eddard Stark, and how to earn the love of Arya. He just knows how to do that. He knows how to talk to people, and that's a sign of a great leader. That's a sign of a great leader, because
Maester Lewin trained you well.
Yes.
Of course, Aemon's gonna be like, shout out to the guy who taught you how to think like this, Maester Lewin. Sorry, Misha. Yes.
Yes, and he just knows how to do that. And not only was the conversation with Maester Aemon a beautiful conversation, he appealed to Aemon, being a maester. He appealed, to the man's ego. The first thing he talked about was the links in the chain.
Yeah,
the links in the maester's chain. He built a bridge. He built a bridge for Sam to walk on, and he built a bridge also for himself. I'm sure that Maester Aemon was thinking, you know what, this young man really knows his stuff. I mean, this is the kind of person that I would like to have running, my organization, if I had an organization to run. I mean, for someone so young, Jon is 14 here. Jon is 14 years old. How many 14-year-olds do you know who speak like this? How many 14-year-olds do you know that are so mature for their age? I mean, I was not mature at my age when I was 14.
I'm still not.
I mean, right, exactly. I still haven't found, the elegance and the grace that he had. And I'm in my 30s. And so that whole section just amazed me. If you haven't read it, to my people in the chat and to my people watching, go ahead and reread this chapter. It was a very short chapter. It went on for like maybe 5 pages, 20 minutes on audiobooks, but it was a beautiful, beautiful passage.
It's where we meet we meet all the recruits, and it's interesting to read that maybe you wouldn't even see half these people again there, but you meet Aemon. Did you want to talk about that, or moving on?
Yeah, we can talk about Maester Aemon. Yeah, he's definitely a part of the Night's Watch. Oh, excuse me, everyone. I belched. Excuse me.
Happens.
Yeah.
He gets so. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Moni.
Well,
yeah, Moni, go ahead.
Right, no, well, because he needs to go for a ride. They make this awesome dinner for him, and it is pretty good. Like for the Night's Watch, that's some good eating. But they're celebrating. They're having what was it? Like rack of lamb or something, and even blueberries with sweet cream.
Yeah, there's blueberries and sweet cream, and that shit is in that cookbook, but I'm not going to talk about that. But this meal is in the cookbook. I'm going to turn off the mic now.
But so a whole bunch of good eats, and everybody's like having a good time. But then Jon notices that Sam's not there, and he points it out to all of his buddies, and everybody's congratulating him, and they get to sit at the head table. and are sat there by the Lord Commander, and but John's like totally bummed out because he notices Sam's not there, and he's a good friend, and then he points it out, and they're like, "Whoa, do you think he's sick? You know, he must be sick because he doesn't miss a meal." But like, then that's it. Then they're just like still, you know, just happy with themselves, and so then he gets up to go, and they're like, "Oh, where are you going?" And he's just like, "What's wrong?" or something. He's like, "I got to go check on Sam," or then he goes off and takes a ride. And he thinks about all that stuff about coming or going. And then he comes back and he knows what he's supposed to do.
One thing, another thing we learned before that is that there's either, I'm sorry, am I reverbing at all? There's 3 things that you can be in the Night's Watch. You can be a steward, a ranger, or a builder.
Yeah. That's cool how they point that out too. And what was there? There was another thing too, I thought. A steward, a ranger, a builder, and
I think it's part of being stewards, right? That being a steward involved. That was my understanding, and somebody please correct me if I'm
or maybe
wrong.
a mason.
But I thought
maybe, but that is that part of being a builder. Oh no, a forester. I thought the forester was the fourth one, and they had to clear the forest. Like the stewards chop the wood, but that's not the same as maybe it is.
Maybe it could change throughout the books too. Like maybe we just remember. I just have it in front of me right now, so that's why I'm bringing it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a good point out too. Good job, Sarah.
Thanks. So yeah, they're at the party, and I think that's when he starts to make an appeal to his brothers. You know, he says Sam will remain in training with the likes of Rast and Cougar and these new boys who are coming up the King's Road. Gods only know what they'll be like, but you can bet Sir Alistair will send them against him first chance he gets. So it's like, we're really gonna kill someone for not being athletic in this organization, and he makes his appeal, and it worked out nicely.
Yeah, I mean, we still don't know if Maester, I mean, he didn't say, or is that him? I'm mixing those Maesters up. Anyway, he says that he will think about it. He didn't say, yeah, oh, that's a great plan. Yes, let's do it. He basically told him that he listened to him, and now he's ready to go to sleep. But we know that obviously he will listen to him.
And he also gave Chet the opportunity to speak as well. So he hears Jon out, and he says, now Chet, what would you have us do? And he's like, if he can't pass, he can't pass. He should be held back until he can pass. And if he can't handle it, then that sucks for him. And because he knows his job is about to get lost. Like, he knows, I mean, that takes sort of guts on Jon's part to be like, I'm gonna interrupt you in the night and sell your job.
I think that was the plan. I think that must have been because that Maester, he's not stupid. I mean, he knows his thing. So I was sure. I mean, being that wise, that old, and seeing what kind of morons he has for the 2 people that are there. One can't read, and one is. They both basically suck. 2 of them together don't even make one person, correct? Like one good Maester.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of like
exactly. So I know that I'm assuming and I'm guessing that Maester waited for Jon to get this, you know, like idea about, yeah, how about we do this? Because if the Maester did it, then Jon wouldn't have to go on that hunt. That he wouldn't have to do any brainstorming, right? The thing would be just done for him. And since Sam was held back, Jon had to think about, first of all, to be a good friend. Second of all, how he can use that good friend of his to the friend's best abilities, or use his best abilities. So yeah, I think that Maester helped Jon grow and think. I'm pretty sure it was on purpose because he's not dumb.
One of Jon's many father figures at the wall. First, we got lectured about. They had him check his privilege. The Baratheon guy made the Warhammer. What's his name? He had one hand. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my gosh.
Donald Noy.
Yeah, Donald Noy. Donald Noy gives him lots of life advice. Now we're meeting Maester Aemon in terms of Jon's like guiding father figures. Not that that's a charged topic or anything.
I I would like to read just a little bit of the wonderful conversation, just one sentence. It says, "A chain needs all sorts of metals, and a land needs all sorts of people." Now, I just thought that that was a lovely life lesson. It always seems to me that George R. R. Martin always puts a beautiful life lesson into his chapters, and this is what I gathered. Just because just because we all have different gifts doesn't mean that our gifts, are not legitimate. And we all are different people. We all come from different backgrounds. We all are, of different races and of different cultures, different sexes. But it doesn't mean that just because you're a certain type of person that what you have to offer isn't good enough. And I think that that's a beautiful lesson for everyone, for every man, every woman, every child. Just because you do something differently, or just because you look differently, or speak differently, or act differently, doesn't mean that you don't have, some sort of value to you. And I just love that. I just love that. That was just my favorite part, as I said before. That's my favorite part of the chapter. And when John said that, uh, I just felt like Maester Raymond, looking at this young man that filled with such wisdom, such knowledge, such strength. And John, and as Money G said, I just fell in love with John all over again. Uh, are there any points or any questions? Yeah.
Jen, hey Jen, you should read that speech because you're good at reading those. I love that speech John gives to Maester Aemon. Do you have your book there?
I don't have my book, but I do have my notes. I just wanted to say that we definitely see the politician in John go to work for the first time here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, nice tie in there. I like it. I didn't even think about that. I just thought he was being sweet. Oh.
When boys do it, it's called politics.
Oh, is that why I like politics?
Yes, yes. Jen, great catch. No, that's very cool.
So will you read it? Because you're so good at that.
Well, what else do you have in your notes?
You guys, I didn't write that part down.
Okay, I have it.
Really didn't.
I have it, but I sound very different than Jen.
Go ahead, Sarah.
All right. Misha, you want to hear about the Maester's collar?
Oh, yes, that's a good point. Yes.
He told me that a Maester's collar is made of chain to remind him that he's sworn to serve. John said, remembering. I asked why each link was a different metal. A silver chain would look much finer with his gray robes, I said. Maester Lewin laughed. A maester forges his chain with study, he told me. The different metals, oh my gosh, you can tell I listened to these books and I'm looking at them for the first time right now in this way. I'm sorry. The different metals are each a different kind of learning. Gold for the study of money and accounts, silver for healing, iron for warcraft. And he said there were other meanings as well. The collar is supposed to remind a maester of the realm he serves. Isn't that so? Lords are gold and knights are steel, but two links can't make a chain. You also need a silver and an iron and a lead, tin and copper and bronze and all the rest. And those are farmers and smiths and merchants and the like. A chain needs all sorts of metals and a land needs all sorts of peace. And Maester Aemon smiled. And so the Night's Watch needs all sorts too. Randall Tarley couldn't make Sam a warrior. You think Sir Alistair is going to be able to? Why would we kill someone that we need? And
with that, I'm still surprised why everybody's so dumb at the wall. I mean, seriously, is it cold, like freezing their brains off, or like brain cells are dying? I mean, they have.
Maester Aemon is the only one to die of old age, and I think he's the master of Game of Thrones because he manages.
Yeah, no, I know exactly, but I'm just saying, like, these are the words coming from 14-year-old, right? And you have all these people. I know the wall has all kind of rejects and criminals, and I guess whatever else. But I mean, oh my God, seriously, 14-year-old donning this wisdom on two people who are training to be stewards. I mean, the world is gonna just crumble when you have those idiots over there. So good for Jon. We needed Jon over there. We needed his wisdom. Seriously, people need to grow a brain.
And another thing that we see is there's this big loss of Benjen. They say, oh, Benjen was first ranger. Benjen was first ranger. And Jon's like, he still is. He still is. But basically Benjen's being presumed dead, and no one really has the heart to like purposely misspeak in front of Jon. But
just a question, because Ree is asking, why do I think they're dumb? Well, I guess it speaks for itself, but I can explain why I said it. Jon is 14, right? And for Jon to, first of all, to suggest that Sam being so smart, Sam has greatest potential to be a great maester over there. So why does it take Jon to remind or mention or even inform people that, yeah, we could use this smart person. Let's train. Or he doesn't even say train him, but just like, take him as somebody who can train with you, and take those two idiots to the side, because I don't know, they could be doing other things.
Can I bust in real fast? One of the things we always say about Dany is she's so young. She's a natural leader. She makes mistakes, but she's so young. And you can sort of argue the same thing about Jon. And so anyone who claims to love one but hate the other, it's like, how do you not see them as sort of the same story in different settings? That's my thought.
Yeah. I completely get it. And just to finish up my point, because I just wanted to mention, like, the two people who are training, I'm assuming they're training to be, I don't know, stewards. Maybe I don't know how they get their maesters from somewhere. It's not like any maester volunteers. I'm gonna go to the wall. I'm gonna freeze my tushy off over there, because why not? So I guess they're
gonna square off women, just like.
Yeah, so they're training apparently to be somebody, those two people, and are they the best? That they, yeah. I'm so glad Sam is there, and I'm so glad.
And there's classism at the wall too. I mean, they say that like everyone sheds their previous identity, but they're like, oh my God, we got a knight coming. We got knight. We got Sir Janos Slint, and he's like known as the slimiest motherfucker on the planet. Like Stannis is like, I'm not impressed. He will not be Lord Commander. Sir Alistair is a bitter. They call his face reptile. I guess that means he's like extra evil. He's a Targaryen loyalist. He's not there by choice. He renames everyone and tortures them physically. What does he have going on for him?
I will say do that.
Yeah. Okay.
For war, you have to break them.
I will say though that Alistair Thorne on the show, when he gives that speech when they're defending the wall, I'm very Alistair Thorne in that moment. This Alistair Thorne sucks, but that one on the TV was amazing.
Right, but that's what they all do. They break you until like it's time to inspire you, because they can't have you break when it comes wartime.
But it's weird, like why? Like I still don't.
They build you down to bring you up because they have to make you bond together.
Yeah.
To hate one person. Yeah. So you are a unit, and then when it comes down to it, you end up. No, that's like, it's classic like evil psychology, but it's,
that's what I'm saying. Not everybody.
That's what you got to do.
Not everybody needs to be broken to rise.
And some people they totally break, but don't you think they'd break in war? Because that's fucked up shit.
Yeah, but there's a problem. If you break somebody who's not supposed to be broken, they can actually put a knife in your back. So
right, but also then they shouldn't go to war with you, right?
But do you think all right
on your side?
What about the mutiny at Craster's Keep? The mutiny at Craster's Keep. The mutiny.
I don't want to go to war. I hate war.
That's what happened. The mutiny of Craster's Keep. That's what happens.
Yeah, those guys are sick motherfuckers. I hate them. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry.
No, it happens. Sorry. But I mean, to your point, Elamar, when you attract all these like antisocial, rule-breaking people, of course they're going to be like, why the fuck should I fight for anybody when I'm physically stronger than this situation? And that's what happens. That was not a good way for Jeor Mormont to go, but he did not know his men. They had just, at the Fist of the First Men, that's where the men and the boys got separated. And it's like, all right, I'm going to kill that fat fuck who took my job with the penguins or whatever. Not the penguins, the ravens. The ravens. Sorry.
Penguins, I love it. No, I love it.
I'm going to take a shot with penguins. You heard it here first. They're at the wall. I mean, they should be penguins, right?
I just got this cutest image of penguins over there. Oh, Game of Thrones just got so much cuter.
That's how they talk to White Harbor, is via penguin.
I don't know
wish
if there
they
are
had
penguins. I don't know if there are penguins even north of the wall.
And then the guys at the wall had to wear.
I want to see a white penguin. I want to see a white penguin. That's how the Night King and Cersei are gonna hook up. Is they're gonna be like, "What's up, boo?" Like via white penguin.
Everybody looks better in a tux. Let's face it.
We are discussing Jon V tonight. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat right now. I want to give a shout out to Laura. Thank you, Laura, for subscribing to my channel, Laura D. Make sure you check out my videos, especially my Game of Thrones videos. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat. We have Moni G in the house tonight as our special guest.
Thank you, Michelle.
We're talking about Jon and how wonderful he is and how wonderfully he, navigated a very, very tricky and dangerous situation. If Jon was not there to speak for Samuel, he probably would have been killed by those people.
Or worse.
I mean, they could have thrown him off the wall. Or even just insulted him until he couldn't take it anymore, and he may have killed himself. And he managed to save his life and make a place for him. He just broke it down for Maester Aemon. He can't swing a sword. He can't swing an axe. He can't hunt. He can't do much of anything, but he can read, he can write, and he can do songs. And for a blind man, that's a very good assistant to have. He also had the courage, as Moni said, to tell him that one of the people that you have assisting you cannot read and the other one has weak eyes. So to have a blind man, a man with weak eyes, and a man that can see but can't read, and never, learned how to read or even wanted to learn how to read, this is not a very good situation that you have here. You need to get someone else in here, a better man, to come in and help you. And also, it will open the door for Samuel later on for him to become a maester himself. It's opening the door for him.
Question for us, ladies. I see comments saying that we are buffering. So I'll just turn off my video and see, or my camera. Maybe that's going to help.
I'm sorry if we're buffering tonight. I have absolutely no idea what's going on here. I'm very disappointed in this. I don't know what's going on. Please don't blame us. And I really don't want to, restart the stream again. Oh, everyone's saying that we're not buffering now.
I was gonna say, let's just keep the screens better. Did I just mess it up?
No. I mean, we're just gonna go on like we normally do, and keep on going.
All right. You got to pay extra to see the pictures.
Okay, yeah. Laura says that we're good. That there is no worries.
I love that, Sarah. I love this. Oh my God. You're gonna see some chats over here in a second. Although there's none.
No, I'm so disappointing in that regard. Like, I say dumb shit and then I shut it down.
No, yeah, I love it. Send money. We'll give you peeps.
What about Sam? Sir Piggy.
Poor Sam.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Jon's his friend. Yay for Jon. Yay for Sam.
Exactly.
Jon was very much his friend from beginning to end, and I appreciate that. There were so many. Loyalist. It kind of felt like a class system, a little bit, and Jon was the bastard and Samuel was the son of a lord. I think they would naturally gravitate toward people. gravitate rather towards not to
Oh,
people,
God.
but to each other. And I'm glad that they found that. I'm so glad that they found that. And as for the show, I appreciate that Samuel, in time got a little bit better. He wasn't as cowardly in the show as he was in the books. And, the cowardice still remained in him in the story, even though he went through so much. But, I'm glad that they, came upon an even field in the books. I mean, not in the books, but in the show. So, for that, in regards to the show, I appreciate the road that they took Samuel down. They helped him be more of a man. He lost his virginity. He slayed the White Walker as he did in the books.
And
But
I think, I think the job did maybe it's a testament to the actors, it's a testament to the show. I don't know, but the bond that Jon and Sam have on screen, they're like boys in real life too. You can kind of feel that on the screen. I mean, Kit Harington married, Rose. Yeah, Rose Husley. Like he married his wildling girlfriend. Like he's probably best friends with Sam in real life too. And you can see it. You can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
for all of Sam's protestations that he is a coward, though, we see quite the opposite. And I think continuing to call him a coward, I mean, he's wearing that like armor because that's how he sees himself. But in reality, he's one of the bravest people because Ned Stark said to Brandon Stark in chapter 1, Brandon 1, you can only be brave if you are afraid of what you're doing. If you're not afraid to do it, you're not being brave.
No, that's true.
Perfectly said, yeah.
And Moni G, if you wasn't nervous to get on this live stream and do it, you wouldn't be doing shit. Go, girl.
Oh, look how brave I am. I don't know about that, but thank you, Jen. Mwah. Thank you.
So with the chapter that we have on Jon, again, oftentimes there are only certain characters that get their POVs, like we know, right? So the different things that we see about other characters is a great way to see them, to get to know them, because we see them from different perspectives. Like for Jon, we get to see the people at the Night's Watch. We get to see Sam, even though he doesn't have his chapter, right? Unless I missed one. We see him and we get to know him.
He has chapters in Feast.
He meets Arya.
Yeah, later, right? Yeah, not
later,
this
but
book.
not currently.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm being very silly right now. I thought of a point and I wasn't listening well enough to know if you were done making your point, Elmore, or not.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. So I said we talked about the builders and we talk about the rangers, and through Chet we learn about what the stewards are supposed to do. Chet gave an angry scowl. I'm a steward. You think it's easy work, fit for cowards? The order of the stewards keeps the watch alive. We hunt, we farm, we tend the horses, we milk the cows, gather the firewood, cook the meals. Who do you think makes your clothing? Who do you think brings supplies from the south? The stewards. Mr. Abram was gentler. Is your friend a hunter? He hates hunting, Jon had to admit, even though his family, he knows a decent amount about hunting. Can he plow a field? Can he drive a wagon or sail a ship? Could he butcher a cow? And fairly, Jon says no to all of that. But yeah, that's when he goes for the jugular. I know one thing Sam can do better than anyone. He can help you. He can do sums. He knows exactly how to read and write. I know Chet can't read. Dang. And Clyde has weak eyes. Sam's read every book in his father's library. He'd be good with the Ravens too, or the Penguins, depending on which canon you go by. Animals seem to like him. Yeah, Ghost didn't rip his throat out. I mean, I feel like old gods carry an extra like set of points up at the wall, and Sam also ends up swearing his vows to the old gods because he said the seven couldn't save him. So anyway, Ghost took to him, and sort of like the wildlings, I feel like the Night's Watch knows probably Jon's work too, and that they need every person they can get. They need this dude and his big ass wolf. I mean, that's, yeah. Make use of him instead. Like the Night's Watch needs every man. Why kill one to no end? Make use of him instead.
There's a question from the chat before I forget, or before it disappears on me. Mackenzie asks, how do you ladies think that Sam and John's journey be different if they left together in both books and the show? And then Gilly wouldn't be in the story, etc., etc. Because he contemplates, just like he says, like, just I need to just keep going, and by the
I have
next
to
whatever
say-
he says night, he'll be at Winterfell.
And
Obviously,
Lamar?
what happened? Yeah, go ahead.
I would say I have to say I never ever once occurred to me that he would take John with him, and that could have been an oversight on my part. But yeah, I read him like so blindly taking these vows when he could have gotten out of them so easily. But I never once occurred to me that he would take Sam with him. But I mean, we learn in this chapter he's very capable of surprises. So you're right. See, I just see John, I think, as a little bit of a dum-dum based on the show, and they're like, oh, Northern fools and blah blah blah. But you're right. He's a lot smarter than people give him credit for, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I know that would be a totally different though idea, and it never occurred to me before either until I reread this chapter like a bunch of times to get ready for this tonight, and it was just like, because like I said, I fell all in love with John again. I was like, oh, I do like the popular boy, because I liked the popular boy before I knew how popular he was, like before I got into talking to all these people and blah 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 blah, and I was like, oh brother. He's a fair-haired child. He's a fair-haired child who's an emo.
But he was totally emo at Winterfell too. He was totally emo at Winterfell too, and now
I know.
He's
but
like yeah,
I know. But all the same, everybody likes him, and like you said, it's okay to like the popular boy, but for some reason, I have a prejudice against it. That's my bad.
Even if they look like Kit Harington, even if they look like Kit
yes,
Harington.
even if they look like Kit Harington, yes. Like if everybody loves them,
then.
but I will not, and that's my bad.
You're missing out.
Even if they're perfect like John. Because I didn't feel that way when I read the book all to myself. But what I'm trying to say is, like, as I reread this, and then he was riding back, because I'm, like, partially Obi-Wan Kenobi, I like to see everything from a different point of view. I was like, hey, motherfucker, you were just talking about... Excuse my French, damn it. You were just talking about how you want to see, like, everywhere, go down to Dorne and go do this and go do that, and you haven't taken your vows, and so, all right, so your stepmom wouldn't welcome you at Winterfell, and you wouldn't be welcome at court with your father, quote unquote. But you haven't seen any place. You haven't seen Bravos. You haven't seen Dorne. You haven't seen freaking both sides. Like I'm just thinking of the houses, the Queen of Thorns and like Storm, whatever, and the whole freaking Westeros. He hasn't seen across the salty sea or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He could have got his bestie and said, you know what, fuck this shit, dude. They're gonna beat the fuck out of you. If I can't get you in, let's just get out of here. I haven't taken my vows. You haven't taken your vows. We're not criminals. We don't have to stay here. Let's hit it. Like right now I'm at a point where I would just want to run away. So like maybe that's my perspective. It's just like, hey, I just want to run away. So why, like, and it's funny because not until I probably listened to this, so probably 20 times getting ready for this, I was like, hey, why didn't he just do that? Like, and it never occurred to me before, and it would be a totally different story. So, Mackenzie, aren't you a fan fiction writer? Give me a story, girl. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Come on, hook me up.
And then
make sure you like call me up or like, hang out with me and tell me the story, because I'm a terrible like reader of readers. So
as far as the question that was given to us, I knew that John wouldn't do it. I mean, he's too much like Ned. He's just too much like Ned to abandon his word. I mean,
but he didn't take the word yet.
Yeah, I understand that. You're right. But he also made a choice to go over there. And even though he hadn't said the vows, he made the choice long ago.
Yeah, but everything that he was told, Misha, was a fucking lie except from Tyrion. You know what I mean? Tyrion was the only one who told him the truth. He thought it was going to be so noble, and all these people were going to be, they are the watchers of the wall. They guard from all the wildlings and everything.
And this is weird. I was surprised, because going to the wall apparently is like one of the worst things, right? Nobody wants to go to the wall. They're like contemplating, should I die? Should I have my hand chopped off? Or should I go to the wall? So I'm surprised why John would still be in this, denial, thinking about how great it is, whereas everybody else around him knew about how horrible it is. So I'm still not getting that. Like if
Elamar,
John, this is so great. Yes, Sarah.
go on, but I want to answer you. Sorry.
Yeah. So like I was saying, John is completely happy about it, and he
seems
thinking it's gonna
uniquely
be
blind.
great. Exactly.
Everyone else there seems to sort of get why they're there,
but he's still in shock. Like it's like he would.
I think.
Oh, I heard about that. I just didn't believe it. He doesn't even say like, "Yeah, I heard something about it, and now I believe it." He actually was in shock.
He's like Sansa. I think he heard the stories. He believed in the stories.
Yeah.
He's the blinder. He's the guy who's got the blinders on for the military, even though we're doing fucked up shit all around the world. It's just like, yeah, but it's not like I'm anti-soldier, but I'm anti-war.
His uncle Benjen was a ranger. So yeah, there was honor in his mind. There was honor in joining the Night's Watch because, I mean, winter fell.
Exactly.
Obviously, shit went down
and
at some point where they wanted to build a wall. So, but I mean, it's very easy to forget that in the South, like, oh, Snarks and Grumpkins and whatever. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, there's, what is, even the voices are like, we remember.
It makes sense what you're saying. I get it. I guess I just have, I don't want to call it resentment because I don't know him well enough because he died in the first freaking season, Ned.
I love Nettie.
So what I'm saying is, like, first of all, obviously failing about, the mother and whatnot. And so being his father figure, he could have taken John and say, hey, son, or whatever he calls him, listen up. I know you want to go there and I know I completely get it. But just to let you know, it's not as great as you think. That's okay. Take your son to have a talk with your son. He would not even have a talk with his son. Like, what the hell?
His uncle Benjen did.
Benjen did it. Benjen did it.
He did it just before. Like, the poor John.
No, he did it way back, like when the king came up.
Yeah, he was all drunk talking shit to Uncle Benjen. He's like, I'm ready now.
But that was before he went. He was already packed. Like, his bags were packed, right?
No, he wasn't yet. No.
No, I disagree. Yeah, like, no. He was resentful.
He wasn't going to go. That wasn't until later when Catelyn then found out when Ned took the job. And then Catelyn was just like, yeah, you've got to go, because it was the opposite in the books, right? And
I just understood it differently. Like, he always knew there's no place for him. And like, he always knew that there's, his only option, because Cat never liked him.
Well, yeah, no, he wanted to, because he thought it would be kick-ass, like, to be like his Uncle Benjen and just get out of there. But his Uncle Benjen and his dad necessarily didn't want him to go. The only reason Ned was cool with him going, because Uncle Benjen talked to Lewin about it, but he wasn't cool with it until Catelyn said, and what are you going to do with your bastard, because he can't stay here? And he's like, come on, babe.
True,
I can't take him to court. Yeah. He has to be here. And she was like, screw that.
There's no room,
Well, and he does think about, when he thinks about returning to Winterfell, he does think of Catelyn, maybe Sansa even also, but like, yeah, your place is not here.
Poor John.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, all that said, though, I mean, I do think people, his whole existence is sort of like a secret. So it's like, you can't get mad at him that everyone's lying to him.
I don't blame him, because I believe in fairy tales too. I would over glorify. I'm so glad my parents talked me out of joining the service. And then a few years later, they were like, dang it, we wish we would have talked you into going to we would have. And I was like, at that point, I was like, hell no, I ain't going to the service. I'm like, I don't want somebody calling me Wart or whatever they tell me, all that other crap.
They know Maester Aemon
to build me up.
They know Maester Aemon's there too. And so anyone who knows that he's like Benjen and Ned probably know that like Aemon will look out for Jon, because they know that that's Lyanna's kid. Sorry for anyone who doesn't believe that. But anyone who knows that's Lyanna's kid is going to know that's Rhaegar's kid.
You think that Aemon knew that? You really do?
I mean, I think he's old. I think he's magic. I think he gets a vibe from him. And I think
the fact Benjen knew. Do you think Benjen told Aemon?
I don't know. I don't know how the intelligence system works there, but I mean...
No, but I mean, just confided in him. Do you think that Benjen
who knows?
I think that's why Benjen got sent to the wall when everything went down.
I think he volunteered to go there just because he knew, like, he knew not to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna not be tortured, like, for information and
Yeah.
No, I think he helped his sister, and I think he got in big trouble for it and had to go to the wall. But I don't know. That's just a guess, you know. We'll never find out because George R. Martin is never going to tell us.
Mystery continues. Somebody has really, I don't know, I'm not sure, there was something with the mic, so just letting you know that there was some
oh, I'm sorry. I'll mute myself.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. And I noticed Misha and Jen are so extra quiet. They're allowing us to talk. Ladies, do you want to chime in?
Just basically that it was just a lovely chapter, and I really enjoyed it, and I pretty much agree with the both of you. And what I had wanted to say was that it just wouldn't have, looked right on Jon to just leave. It's just something about him staying that just felt right. It just suited his demeanor. If he had left, it would have been selfish. And Jon, is not a person who is, fundamentally selfish. He seems the kind of person that wants to help other people, who wants to just be in service. And it just felt like if he had left and taken Sam with him, it would have just, in my opinion, made them look so selfish when both of them are not selfish people. I can see, other members, leaving, other people that have to be there, and people that can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yeah. Now it's much better. I was gonna say they both were outsiders in their home, and they feel a sense of belonging. So even though, let's say, like, we got Haldon Halfmaester, like, Sam could basically just study a few courses and call himself a maester somewhere and probably get by. Jon Snow could be a sellsword, you know what I mean? But they're like, they feel a belonging, a sense of brotherhood. And I don't know, I to quote Moni, like, you don't want to go for the, like, cute guy that everyone likes, but in this situation, you can't, you sort of can't not.
And there's a quote before it disappears on me again. I'm so bad with these. And it's way back. It was already up there. So Nancy T says, and now going back to Sam, actually. So Nancy T says, I think Randall Talia would be super pissed when he hears about it, and he will and he will chase them down. So yeah, I'm thinking, because that would be a huge thing for the honor, like, to have your son, if he threatens him that he will kill him just for not leaving, then I bet he would want to kill him for running away as a punishment, because how can somebody from Tarly family run away and disgrace the Tarleys? So I can completely see why Sam would not want to disappear from there, because it's a death sentence either way. So he can basically choose his way of dying, by his father, by his father's people, or somebody at the Night's Watch, or basically by his own hand. But obviously he didn't get that choice because he was saved by Jon. So yay, Jon.
Yeah, Randall Tarley. Oh, Lord have mercy. We haven't seen that much of him, in the books as of yet, but we will see him later on. We will see him later on in A Feast for Crows, and having to grow up with a man like that, with a man, just go to those Brienne chapters where she's in Maidenpool, and you'll, get to see Randall Tarley in action. And I can't even blame Sam for being afraid of him. I remember reading those Brienne chapters not too long ago, and we see what's his name, Randall Tarley in Maidenpool, trying to rebuild that town after the War of the Five Kings, and he was just all business. He was all business. There was not a drop of forgiveness or compassion in him. There was nothing in him. There was nothing. There was no kindness, no love, no compassion. Everything was black and white. So, I mean, I totally agree with the two of you, saying that it would be a death sentence. It probably would have been a death sentence. I mean, I almost believe that he would do it with his own hands if he tried to leave. If Samuel tried to leave, Randall would try to kill him with his own hands without a drop of remorse in him.
Yeah, I can
So,
completely see that. Yeah.
it's just a sad. What a father like that. A father like that.
Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The best advice he has for Brienne is that like a good raping would probably set her straight. So,
Yeah,
thanks, Dad.
it's sad. I mean, yeah, he's just a horrible, cold and compassionless, pitiless person, and it's just sad that Samuel grew up with that.
Ugh, that's horrible.
And it explains why, he is such a coward. I mean, he's still living in fear of his father, and his father is a person that is to be feared, no doubt about it. It's Jennifer, do you have anything to add to our discussion here?
Yeah.
No, I really don't.
You don't? Okay.
What about your notes?
I believe I got through them pretty much.
Okay, then. Well, it's certainly no problem. We're discussing Jon 5. And seeing as I think we've kind of hit every point in the story, I would like to talk a little bit about the books. Well, not the books, but the television show, if we can.
Sure.
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about the television show. There really wasn't.
I want to say something about that.
Okay.
Randall Tarley in the television show. Flogging stragglers has a marked effect on speeds.
Oh man, he's just the worst, isn't he?
Jamie's just like, no, let's give him a chance, man.
Yeah, like I professionally throw children out windows and kill kings. And
I mean, when Jamie's the fucking voice of reason, shit is way out of control.
Shoot, man, I would be flogged every single day. Dude.
But they gave him such a ridiculous death. I'm so sorry about that. I mean, I know we got to see Danny bend. Use fire to bend people.
A little
like
charcoal.
Her signatures. But I mean, barbecue? Dude, okay, sorry, Misha, when you said you wanted to talk about the show, I don't think you want to talk about this scene. So, but yeah, Tarly in the show gets all lit up at he and that cute boy of his, Dickon, is very cute.
I know, he was way better than the other one.
Well,
remember when they showed the other guy before?
I just always pictured like a little kid. So I get what they do for TV.
Really?
But yeah, I pictured a little athletic kid. He was like he was just more like his dad, like a little boy who would be really good at soccer and like.
See, I pictured him just being the perfect alpha male.
I wish they hadn't punked that second actor like that. I had liked him from that pirate show. Y'all know what I'm talking about? What was that show?
I don't know, but he was such a dick. I didn't like it, but this one I liked.
It was that show on Stars. Chat, help me here. I watched it. It was a decent little show. Come on,
he was awesome. And also what I loved, also just thinking about because
Black Sails. I hate that they punked him like that because he was really cool on Black Sails.
Oh. Hello? Mm-hmm. Well, yes, and I loved how they now I forgot what I was saying. How he took his sword. I think I got that from on the show. On the show when Sam did
5-finger discounts that highly praised,
but it was
valuable.
But it was also like you guys were talking about how
it was his by right.
I think it was you, Misha, who was saying, or was it you, Jen, who was saying how if without fear, you can't be brave without fear, and so really because Sam is the biggest coward in the book, perhaps he is the bravest in the books. So then I think it was on GOT Academy, GOT Academy. I watch that all the time, and they were it's like they do this psychological analyzing of them on the couch, and they and they did, oh shit, I forget which character, but it was all about the sword being the phallic symbol, and how Sam took Randall's sword, which is his phallic, it was just like, oh.
Well, he definitely took power.
Yeah, and it was rightfully
blood of my blood. Oh.
Right, it was rightfully his, even though his dad threatened to kill him.
It truly was.
To the wall.
Unless he's secretly Aegon Targaryen.
What?
I can't. Let me not even go there with y'all.
Holy smokes! You just blew my mind, girl.
Right.
Oh my God.
There's a theory bouncing around out there in the GOT universe that Sam is actually Aegon Targaryen.
Is Hot Pie his twin?
Wait, oh my God. I love Hot Pie. Let's talk some Hot Pie. You got to brown the butter
is
first.
Hot Pie?
Nobody really knows that.
Okay, so Sam is Aegon Targaryen. He has black hair.
Jen, you just blew my teeny
I
tiny
can't
little
do
brain.
this right now. Lizard brain shutting down.
Wow.
Okay, well look, this is the way I heard it. You have to read the Jon chapters and then the Sam chapters like a companion. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And if you read it that way, there's a person out there. Ree, you in the chat? Can you say who Ree knows more about it? She was telling me about it, and if you read the Jon chapters and then side by side with the Sam chapters, you see more parallels and stuff like that. But it's pretty, it's not unbelievable in my opinion.
Okay, when you and Misha are done with doing all 5 books, chapter by chapter, then Jen, you and I can do that theory.
Wow.
10 years from now.
Yeah, that's a lot. That is a whole lot. We'll try, but I don't know if we can make it through all 5 books now.
Come on, Misha, come on. I got faith in you, girl.
But we will try. We will
do you
try.
Think
we'll be streaming from the freaking nursing home?
That's what
That's what I'm talking about.
Like
rocking the Casbah, ladies. Rocking
just
the
give me my stories, give me some alcohol, I'll be fine.
That's all right. Okay, you know what? You guys are giving me inspiration for a commune.
So are we gonna finish Dance with Dragons before we get material?
Yes, I
die doing this.
Let's do chapter a day.
No, don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself, Elamar. No.
All right.
Week by week, sister. So Misha, was there any? That was funny, girl. I can't. Okay. Was there any other
Elamar,
questions?
Elamar, we synchronously were like, it was funny.
Okay, all right, so fine.
Challenge not accepted.
I told you I'm Obi-Wan, dude. I have a different point of view. So, anyways, were there any questions in the chat? Because I can't do that and this.
So I was just wondering about. I know I heard in many places where Sam has, he's this quiet little, person who just, is very quiet and soft-spoken. And he basically steals stuff. He stole Gilly, right? And he stole the sword, and then he stole the book. He stole the baby.
They swapped babies, and he stole them. Ooh.
Sam, you're about Sam being a secret badass. Yeah, well, he just took a dirty ass knife and cured Grayscale. So obviously, he's talented in the show, right? He's like, I just read the directions.
Although you know what?
And he was drinking. During the operation.
That was sort of gangster too, because Dora's just like, do what you need to do. I'm going to die either way. But it would have been cool if they had talked about his dad.
I think I could do it to myself. I don't think I could do it to somebody else.
I have a question.
That's how I work.
Yeah, I have a question about Samuel in the show. What is he gonna do when he finds out what's been happened to his father and his brother? How is it gonna be for him in regards to Danny?
You want my honest opinion?
He's gonna take Gilly to his house and just live happily ever after.
Misha, I think there's gonna be 0.0 consequences to that at all, because we gotta give up on that.
What?
I agree with Sarah. I don't think there's much he's going to do. I don't think there's much he can do.
If Sam
about the threat coming, he's got to set that shit aside and work on.
If Sam can cut scabs off of Jorah and not have a conversation about Jorah's dad, then
no.
I don't think we're ever going to get like, oh, Maester or Danny burned up my father and brother. I don't think we're even gonna get his point of view. Maybe we will, and maybe you know what? These are one of the situations where I hope I'm wrong. But I just have such low expectations. I don't think if it's not revisited, I wouldn't be surprised. Sorry, shut me down if I'm being too negative, Nancy.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I have to disagree. I mean, there has to be something. There has to be a consequence to that. I mean, I just can't believe that Samuel.
I believe in Feast, we see a bit of resentment from Sam, especially when he's on the boat, talking about how Jon changed. And I believe we're going to see some fallout with Sam and Jon in the books. Maybe this is how they're going to represent that in the show, just their one little tip.
No,
but not much time to do it in. I mean, they're going to have to break up freaking makeup in like an hour.
But
the woman burned his father and his brother alive. I cannot believe that there will be no consequences to that. Especially when he first finds out. I mean, there has to be something. I mean, I can't just accept that there will be.
I mean, I definitely think he's going to think that, Jon, come on, that shit's inhumane. But he had already told her that. Jon had already told her that to begin with. Yeah. And she did what she wanted to anyway. So
Misha,
I don't really know what can be done, truthfully, now that he's been partnered up.
You want to make it interesting?
Yeah, what is it?
Let's start a bet. If we get a scene where that's processed, I pay. If it just is completely not even addressed, I win.
Okay, what are y'all gonna do? Are y'all gonna eat one of those chips on the street?
I don't know. We'll work it out. We'll work it out later. But like, this will be a hill I die on. I don't think they're even going to talk about it.
They have to. They better talk about this. They better. I mean, I'll take that hit.
I'll tell you what, I certainly want them to talk about it, and I want them to talk about how Sansa feels, because she's going to see Danny as an interloper 100%.
But she's like fashionista, like you need to line those things with fur. Like she might also be like, they made Yara and Danny like girl power girlfriends. Like they might be like Sansa and Danny are going to be friends on the show. Like
they ain't going to be.
Oh no, hell no. That's my friend right there. I will eat one of those crazy, horrible chips that you buy that comes in a sealed package on the stream if Sansa and Daenerys is all Kiki Kool-Aid.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. No, I don't think Kiki Kool-Aid.
They are not going to be friends.
They braid each other's hair. And
I don't think they're going to braid each other's hair.
No, because, I mean, she's going to see her as someone, trying to take her place in Winterfell as Lady of the North after all she suffered to have that position.
She is so smart. She knows there's ice zombies coming. Is she going to be like, let's not be friends with the bitch with dragons that breathe fire?
Maybe she'll put up with it, but she's got too much of Lord Baelish in her. I mean, as much as I know that she killed Baelish, but she agrees.
I was going to say, if only Baelish had a fucking dragon.
Yeah. Well, let's remember.
Misha, who are you talking about?
Sansa is already prepared for every situation that may arise.
Yeah,
so she's got too much of Baelish in her. Lord Baelish had already suggested to her that Jon was going to go down there, and he took it a step further than just, hey, they're going to hook up. He was like, they're going to get married. So she's already got it in her head you know, that maybe, I mean, I think she does, and I think that's why we got that whole little scene of Baelish kind of teasing her with, you know, it'd be a good alliance and all that.
I think that we're meant to root for her. Whatever's happening, we're clearly meant to root for her. It's like a controversial opinion for people who only watch the show and they're like, oh, I hate Sansa. And I'm like, you wouldn't if you knew.
Well, technically, just think about it. And I know we're talking Jon, but we're not talking Jon, which is actually the most fun part of it because we're having fun. So Sansa has food in her house. She has people who are dressed properly,
Yeah,
whereas Dany burned her food, and she has the Thrakis in their little, you know, scraps of clothing.
Yeah, their little leather jerkins or whatever.
That kind of hot doesn't melt.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
You know,
yeah, but that's even been mentioned in the books. That's even been mentioned in the books how, you know, Southern armies don't fare well in the North.
No,
and Jaime Lannister mentioned it, but I mean, when we think of Dothraki, we have to think of them as not even Southern. I mean, they're like desert people.
But maybe I don't know, maybe who the fuck knows what's going to happen. I mean, you see Big Bucket Wool like shaming the like Florence or whatever. They're like, this is spring. This isn't even a blizzard. Right. Like, yeah, they're scared of water.
How they address
we'll see how they deal. Yeah. In the meantime, boys, keep dressing up like that for conventions because it's like, you know. Next.
Yeah.
In skirts? Wait, how do they dress? Yeah. Wait, I missed that part. I love them.
They walk around topless.
They look pretty good. The ones I saw look pretty good.
Yeah, they walk around topless, all painted up like Khal Drogo.
Yeah, and they're Blood Riders. It was a whole little group of them.
Well, I mean, they were more dressed now that they came across the narrow sea. They were covered up more. They were covered up more. They knew that they were in a colder climate. And they knew they had to cover up. They couldn't be shirtless like they were across the Narrow, you know.
She knows about those Blood Riders.
I was gonna say they could be shirtless in Dallas.
We were smoking out in the little deck. I guess was that Sunday night. And
I'm curious. Does anybody in Westeros or Essos, do any of them wear skirts? I'd appreciate a man in a dress or a skirt. I really do.
I think Varys walks around in like kimonos.
No, not like a maxi dress. I'm talking like gladiator skirts.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I think that's a different show.
Varys been after the rainbow, getting him a maxi dress.
Come on now.
And he's powdered. I mean, he is the best outfit ever. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, all right.
Fashion, getting him a couple maxi dresses.
No, I don't want any maxi dresses. That's not what I'm talking about. I like the kneecaps.
I say Barry over at It's Fashion and the Rainbow, getting him a few summer items.
I like myself some kneecaps.
Let's have somebody write a letter to them, as they're obviously right now.
Yeah, I know somebody. I need like the men on the Summer Isles. That's what I want.
Yeah, for the next season or next.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing at all. They don't wear anything under their kilts. That's all I'm saying. Not saying no more.
Again, different stream, but I like it.
Yeah, we're discussing Jon.
Yes, we are. And he would look good in a skirt. He would look damn fine in a skirt.
We're discussing Jon. And we're moving toward like the 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
So if there are any, final comments or final anything anyone would like to say, and and if you have any questions in the chat, please post them now. This is my last this is the last call. So if you have any questions, please post them now. And if the ladies of the panel have anything to say or anything to comment about the chapter or any other subject, please do it now. We're moving towards 10 o'clock.
I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who is watching and commenting and having fun with us. Jen, thank you. Elamar, thank you. Misha, thank you. Moni, thank you. And let's do this again and keep it late and having fun. It's fun. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, and I'm very happy that you're here. I certainly am very happy that you're here, and you're taking the time out from your busy schedule to join us in our stream. Jennifer, do you have anything, any comments or any questions or anything you would like to add?
I just want to thank you and my fellow panelists. It was a really good chat, and thanks to the live chat for hanging in with us. Live stream can be like life in that it doesn't always run perfectly.
Yes, thank you. And thank you guys for inviting me, and thank you. It was a pleasure to first stream with you both, Elamar and Sarah.
Oh,
Even though
yeah.
I feel like I know you very well already, but and of course I love you, Jen, with all my heart, and Misha, thank you. I love you too. And you guys, I've been watching you for Evan Day, and this is like my favorite thing. So I appreciate you guys inviting me and sharing the time, um and thanks to everybody in the chat. Like I'm not really good at doing both, but it's been fun. So thanks, and I'm sorry
I
for
was gonna say extra round of applause. Extra round of applause for Moni. I think you were a natural. Like this is the first time you've ever spoken live on a live stream.
No,
No.
I did a couple times before with Misha and Jen, but
Oh.
I still get really nervous.
Oh, it was because you did great. I can't believe that it's your first time. Obviously, it's not, and I'm the asshole. Sorry about that.
No.
Yeah,
I think it's maybe her third time. Is that right, Moni?
Yeah, I think it is the third time. Good night,
But you
guys.
you're a natural.
Mm-hmm,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
It's nothing to be ashamed of. We just here speaking our mind and speaking our hearts.
Well, you know what? Misha and Jen are a total safe zone here. I'm going to take myself off of which one am I on? This, because I want to show you. I don't even know.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, totally. Like it's, and I told you this when I first came on that I'm a scaredy chicken, and I don't like mean people, and you guys aren't mean, and you're very kind, and you welcome weirdo ideas, and I'm a weirdo, just like Gonzo from the Muppets. So I appreciate you loving me just the way I am, and
Gonzo was amazing.
Me too.
Yes,
I'm an emotional,
and you know what?
I'm an emotional weirdo.
He's so funny.
So I appreciate y'all always being welcoming, and even when I had my big baby bitch fit, you guys were always really cool and kind to me, and thank you. I love you very, very much, and mwah to everybody in the chat, even though I'm really not good with reading and talking and listening, I guess.
And actually, you were quite
I
great
can
in the
walk
chat
and
too.
chew
I have
gum.
to say, because you were here and you were in the chat, you did great. So I don't know what you're talking about, but you were chatting in the chat in the comments, and you were here with us. So you did awesome. So
well, thank
thumbs
you,
up.
Elmar.
All
I
good,
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And mwah, 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 mwah. And I love you all, and thank you very much. It was very kind of you to invite me. So, and next week should be super fun for everybody who's here or watches later, because it's Tyrion. And because I was listening, I listened to last week's, and then this week with John, I listened to a lot of Tyrion, and it's when he's coming. Here, I'll give you a little teaser. He's coming down the mountain, and like in all the clansmen, and he's like, "Oh, come on!" And then he,
he's like, "It's a trap." He sets a trap. He's like, "We're gonna burn a fire," and he's like, "You're gonna kill me." Well, anyway, we're gonna talk about that next week.
It should be a T-shirt, Pete Easy. If you ever see this.
Oh, I was wanting to give a shout out to Pete Easy. I know he's listening. It's going to be the T-shirt king of Atlanta one day. It's not if, it's when. When you are balling, when you balling, you gonna have us down to the ATL, right? You're gonna have us down to the ATL, right?
But anyways, the T-shirt for like next that's maybe what we should do before we sign out. What would your T-shirt be for this week? Like, what would your slogan be? But before that, next chapter has got to be, how do you want to die, like Half-Man? And when he says, I want to die in a feather bed at the age of 80 with a belly full of red wine and a woman's cock around a woman's mouth around my cock. And it's just like, okay, I don't know where I'd be able to wear that t-shirt. But
That's Russell's
I totally
ringtone on
want
my
that
phone.
t-shirt.
Yeah, no,
So,
it's like he
anyways-
surprises us. Just the way like Jon surprises us and that he's so articulate. Tyrion surprises us in that he's already thinking 16 steps ahead, and Bronn thinks ahead too.
You're cuckoo.
Yeah. Anyway.
So
shutting
so
down.
what would be your t-shirt for this one? And I'll be quiet and let you guys talk, and then I'll try to think of what my t-shirt would be for this one. So on your mark, set, go.
I don't know. I would have to think.
Come
about,
on.
I would have to think about that.
You
one.
like the Lannisters, don't you? I feel like you would look good in a lion outfit, like lion, like t-shirt.
But Misha,
Do you want to keep it? Do you want to keep it Game of Thrones, or do you just want to keep it like
anything, or Game of Thrones?
No. This chapter. What would be the t-shirt that you did?
The t-shirt from this chapter.
Yeah. Like your favorite part. Like, was it like when he turned around, something that he said special, or what? I bet you guys would
I
say
guess for me, it would be
Maester Aemon.
Yeah, I know on my part. I know my part.
You know your thing?
Okay, tell us.
You know your thing, Sarah? Go ahead.
This isn't a t-shirt worthy, but I like it when he's
yes, it is.
When he sticks his foot in the door and he checks
Yes.
like, and what if I don't go get him? He's like, then I guess I have a long night standing here staring at you, bitch. Like he doesn't. It's that I'm paraphrasing. Like
yes.
But he knows how to deal with people who are like physically. You have to intimidate them versus like, hi, Maester. Let's talk about your chain, Maester. Like, I'm gonna talk this fucker out of a job, Maester. Like I don't know, like he surprises us and Tyrion surprises us, and they say that you're supposed to read these chapters together. It's like pairing the wine and the food. I don't know. Jon learning how to do stuff kind of reminds me of Dany learning how to do stuff, and they're fun chapters to read together.
I know what my t-shirt would be.
What's your t-shirt, Jen?
My t-shirt would be for me working the booth in Molestown that sells frozen blueberries with cream, like a little like a snow stand.
A snow stand. I love it.
Oh my god, I love it.
Frozen blueberries stand.
You've got like these two blueberries and sweet cream pouring down your belly button type. Blueberries and sweet cream.
Blueberries and
for the
sweet
night's watch. Yeah, and like good enough to tempt Jon Snow on the back. Bam.
Oh yeah,
that t-shirt. Okay, all right, I like it. Anybody else? Come on, Misha.
Well,
I can do your t-shirt for you. I know what you want.
Know exactly. I don't know if I can. I would have to think about the answer to that question.
Come on, what did you say that you loved the best? You said that you loved
the only
Maester
thing
Aemon.
that I can think of is, me wearing a Baelish t-shirt. Or
No. This chapter, when you were talking about how what was your favorite part about what Jon Snow was saying? You even read it, I think.
Oh yeah, about the land.
We need Misha. It's the chain. The thing with it, like a land needs all the different people, like workers, the this, the that, and so I feel like what someone needs to make for you, artists who are listening.
I know
somebody needs to make.
I'm gonna make up sketches. I'm gonna try my best over the week.
her a gorgeous chain of different metals.
Well, I can't do that. I would like.
I don't know how to do it either.
Hey,
I'm gonna try to.
Wait, did you see?
Yeah,
what am I wearing?
A beautiful necklace.
I was gonna say, can it be made of? I'll make it of clay and I'll paint it in different colors of metal. Can I do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a gold and silver and bronze and platinum necklace.
You want Valyrian
steel?
You don't need that Valyrian steel link.
I made that.
I did.
Honey,
very
I made
beautiful.
my necklace.
Oh, that's
beautiful.
That's when Maggie, the mage talks about Marwyn, about the chain so tight on his neck, and to me that is like he must have been young if it was like choking him. You know what I mean? Whereas like that, the one in King's Landing, the creeper who got
one?
He got stabbed up by all the little birds at the end of Dance.
Oh.
Grandmaster Pycelle.
He wasn't.
Pycelle. Yeah. So Grandmaster Pycelle's got that big long chain. Meanwhile, like if you think a chain is like choking them, To me, that means they're probably
his
young.
beard.
They're probably young. Yeah, snap by beard. It's 11, so
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I
Tell me your T-shirt, Sarah.
I guess it would probably just like copy and paste John being rude to Chet because I liked it, and there's really no
what
good
part. Like I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But Misha's part,
me.
I like Misha's. I love the like I'm gonna open a blueberry stand, and I love that.
Me too.
I love that I'm gonna make us all Macer's chains. Oh my god!
Sorry, I'm still on. I should be.
That
off.
would be cute.
Sorry.
I'm gonna make us Macer's chains because we're all different and we all contribute.
Are you crafty, Sarah? Are you
I'm crafty as fucking hell, man. I'm a competitive suburban mother of 3. I will craft.
Oh my goodness, you have 3. You have 3 little ones.
Yeah, well, yeah, and this is where I need to shut my mouth.
Oh,
yeah, no, I have a 9-year-old and twin 5-year-olds, and
oh my gosh, I always wanted to be a mama. I'm so jealous. Okay.
Well, yeah,
and those crafters love the Dollar Tree.
Yeah, and 5 and Below and the Dollar Tree. But listen, don't worry. You never heard this from me, but all the cool girls will have Macer's chains next year.
All right, right on, Chaka Khan.
That is cool.
That's very cool.
And Eduardo Blanco's got your T-shirt, Misha. It would say, a chain needs all sorts of metals, and a land needs all sorts of people.
Beautiful, Eduardo. I love that you have those beautiful quotes all the time. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, and just to say thank you, and what I just wanted to say was just to say thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. It's been a very wonderful and very funny and very outgoing chat, and I apologize one last time for the technical difficulties, but hey, we're human. And yes, we are going to be discussing Tyrion, the Tyrion chapter, an excellent chapter from Tyrion, very long and very interesting.
I love it.
We go into his childhood, and we go into his history, and a very certain event that turned him into the person that he is today.
We meet the wildlings of the Vale. Oh, and we learn about Tysha. Yeah, it's a great chapter. Read up.
Yes, it is chock full of Tyrion, little insights into what makes Tyrion tick.
Oh, I know. See, and I can't hate him.
No, he has a very deep and rich history, a very traumatic history, for him as a child and him as a man now, and we're definitely going to be discussing that chapter. It is chapter 42, if I'm not mistaken. Chapter 42, Tyrion, the Tyrion chapter in chapter 42. I just want to say thank you one last time to the people in the chat. Thank you all so much for joining us, and come back next week, at the same channel at the same time. And we will be here next week, and I'll see if I can find a brand new guest for us. Thank you so much, Moni, for joining us here tonight.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and maybe later on down the line, you are welcome to come back and be a guest again.
Thank you. That'd be marvelous. Anytime. I would love to.
No problem at all.
I love it. Hey, you guys want to give a big, what is that one? What was it? The big kiss where they all go mwah! At the end of the show. It's an old one.
Well, hugs and kisses to everyone.
Yes. Thank you guys. And sorry I did talk an awful lot. So thank you. I appreciate y'all tolerating me, and have a great evening, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure talking with you, ladies. So it's wonderful. See you next week.
And it was marvelous actually being live with both you, Elamar, and Sarah. I feel like I already love you as sisters. So thank you very much. And of course, Jen and Misha, I love you. And I will talk to you very soon. Jen, give me a call when you can. And, anybody can call me. I think that I'm pretty much open on Hangouts to all of my
Johnny
friends.
Be crazy. Let me just say this. Oh, also, everybody, hit everybody's icon in the chat. There's so many creators in this chat, and even if they're not, they might one day. But have the nerve.
I'd love to, Johnny B.
Johnny B would like to have you as a guest on his show, and that's a good time. I can tell you that. I'm
silly. This is me. So Okay, thank you, Johnny. I would love to.
Laura D, you had a quick question from the Game of Thrones book. Yes, from the first book. We're still in the first book, and it's going to be a Tyrion chapter, chapter 42.
It's
Tyrion
so
chapter
good. I
42 from the
recommend it
Game
to
of
everyone.
Thrones.
Audiobook 43, chapter 42.
Mm-hmm. Thank you all so much for joining us, and this is the end of our stream. Come back next week, same bad time, same bad channel.
Ha ha, Misha, I always say
Yes, I
that.
made a
Yes.
joke. Yes, I have humor after all. Can you believe it?
Rock on, Shaka Khan. Hey, and everybody, rock the Casbah. Rock on, Shaka Khan.
Thank you. Thank you so
Mwah!
much. And
All right.
thank you all to my people on the panel, and thank you to the chats. And have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Thank
Goodbye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.